Look at me. We're fighting for the very thing that gives us strength. Do you need me to tell you what that is?
No.
Way back to the beginning of his tweets. I've gone decades to interviews and what he said. And the thing is he's always stated the same things. He never changes what his beliefs are and his thoughts are with this country and wanting to repair it and kind of give the power back to the people. He's never changed that. So if this was some huge charade, this would be something that has literally been planned for decades and decades, and he has not missed a beat.
Johnny, do you have any thoughts on that? Do you have any thoughts on Donald Trump and what he could represent?
Nah, not that I want to. Not that I really want to share. I'm not. I don't know, Sam. I mean, we talk about that a lot.
It is true that it's like I tell everybody, I can list all the things I don't like that Trump does, and they'll never talk about it in the mainstream media. And I do that all the time with these people. Oh, you're a Trump guy. I go, I don't like this, I don't like this. And they just kind of sit there, drop jaw, because they don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I also make no illusions that we're going to get anybody who walks on water into the role of president. I think there has to be a certain game you have to play to even get to that place. I will tell you, out of the last, outside of Jimmy Carter, and I've got to be honest with you, I was too young to even know what Jimmy Carter was doing, but Reagan was the first time I started paying attention to politics, and since Reagan, Trump is the best president, in my opinion. I've enjoyed over everybody, and here we are about to enter the second election. And even though I won't vote for either one because I just don't like the two parties. Protesting if the cops had been arrested?
That's a good question because college students how to fight back and rise up. And so when something like this kicks off, you get all these organizations that are the ones that manufacture and push these movements for an agenda. They hammer them all, they prepare them all, they say, okay, go. The emails get flooded, the media gets flooded, they all work in sync. It gets so saturated across social media, the news, you name it, and there's momentum building. And you've had people, stuck at home for 3 months, so people want to get out. And they just keep fueling it and fueling it and fueling it. And until people wake up and say, okay, we're going to stop the nighttime ones, or, I can see what's going on here, I'm not going to go anymore, the people are just following like sheep. They are just being herded through this. And there's so many better ways to approach this than the chaos that we're seeing right now.
I can't speak for you, Corey. I can only speak for myself. But in the couple times we've talked, and I believe that we kind of see the world the same way. I think any life lost to police is super tragic. I have family that are police officers. But there's a reason why these events are on television. There are reasons why, you know, when a white little girl gets kidnapped, that makes the news, but when a black little girl gets kidnapped, there's no talk about it all. And it's like, why are these murders so big when others are not? Well, it's to induce a certain type of reaction from the crowd because they've been conditioned for so long. And when you sit there and you tell, you know, my black friends who I love with all my heart that more white people are killed by black people than black people, they go per capita. And then you go, well, then blacks commit more, 50% of the murders, and that's way more per capita. And there's a little quiet there. What are your thoughts on, like, what is the message that we should be giving to people right now when it comes to all of this?
Oh gosh, that's a loaded question.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know what the solution is. That's what I'm trying to say, because
Right.
it's like, you know, it's like I come from a very poor area. Upstate New York is poor, man. What happened to the black community with crack is happening to suburbia white America with heroin. It's the exact same game plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, destroy the family unit, lock up the fathers. You know, it's the same game plan. So I would say black history is white future if you don't watch yourself right now. You know, for the black community to just be like white people, all this is just ridiculous to me. It's just ridiculous. And you know, when the Asians were complaining that all Asians were being judged by the actions of the Chinese government, I just said, you know, welcome to being a white guy on Twitter since Twitter started. White people get blamed for everything that the U.S. government does. That, like, you know, like we all go to the golf course. We all do that. When, in my opinion, and this is maybe the better question, is this a racial thing or is this a class war?
Yeah, well, I think the whole racial division has been fueled by far left for a long time now. They stoke it in like what you were just talking about, the drugs in inner cities and the gangs and everything, and pushing that and keeping them down. As far as breaking the family unit, that's a global thing in my opinion. I mean, they've been seeding that through television and movies and Disney and indoctrination in school for decades to break family units across the board, no matter what race you are. The idea is to keep division. They need to keep division on so many levels. And so, whereas, yes, there is racism, I feel that it's being fueled and stoked and over-exaggerated to try to push more of it or create the illusion that it's far worse than it really is.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to my friends, you know, I mean, I would tell you right now in this country is the least racist time ever in life. And does that mean there's no racism? No. I mean, I'm going to tell you something. Every single white person I know gets excited when they get a new black friend. Everybody I know. They're like, oh yeah, you know, they get super excited. Gay marriage is more acceptable than ever. Everybody is very much into live and let learn, live and let live. But there's a small group of people, and it's very interesting because Malcolm X and the Unabomber both said the same thing, which was white rich liberals are the enemy of the people. These rich kids who are here to destroy us, they feel very guilty about the life they were afforded, and they have this weird lashing out. Rich white kids want to blame poor white kids for all the country's problems when their fathers and mothers have caused all the chaos. Mm-hmm. Kids born into a trailer park are not part of this whole thing. Great definition, Bill Gates, he did a great article on all the gates. What Bill Gates, the gatekeepers for. Would you like to get into a little bit of that? Because I remember a time when everybody hated Bill Gates. Nobody's talking about that anymore. That
Oh no. I think there's still, well, yeah, I mean, right now we're a little preoccupied with all the riots going on, and that's their intention, distraction. There's a lot of stuff dropping right now. And hey, we finally just pulled out of the World Health Organization. Yeah.
Another thing I like that Trump did. Another thing I like that Trump, I'll put that on the big board of things I like. Like that.
Right. And hopefully, you know, look, there was this brilliant press conference back on April 18th where for about 4 minutes, Trump dropped bombshells and people missed most of it. He was getting into NIH, the $32 billion, he was getting into the $6 billion a year that goes out to PEPFAR, which has to do with AIDS. He was getting into the World Health Organization, and he was talking about how all of them are being looked at and how there are people behind this that make a lot of money, and that he feels the $6 billion going out to AIDS could be, you know,